Hi Taurus, here's a general look at your solar chart for August 2010. Now the focus is going to be on home for the first 3 weeks, and that means a number of things. It's where you're anchored in the long or the short term, that's physically, but also that's where you're anchored in here. And it could also include your inner circle, your family, your tribe. So it's a good time for you to get sorted out with all of that, but also to ask yourself how you are inside and what your emotional guidance is telling you. And if you feel out of sorts, then look for something which is going to help you feel better. Nostalgia or sentimentality could overcome you at times, as in some way the past is reincarnating itself in the present. But also you may be dipping into your own past experiences or tapping into a more ancient part of yourself. You could also be meeting up with those you haven't seen for a while. Some of you will have more contact as well with parents or parental figures also. So there's going to be a sort of an awareness of history going on in whatever way it is for you, Taurus. Now, until the 23rd, that's a period for you to draw in your horns and enjoy being creatively productive. It looks as though there'll be laughs and sharing along the way, quite a bit of that. And you should also get good feedback and feel valued by others around you. For many of you, there's likely to be more contact with children or animals or younger people as well over the first 3 weeks. You could be quite busy with many little jobs, but avoid doing too much in the first week because there could be a bit of pressure there. So health could suffer or quality of work could suffer. Now from the 7th, that's a good time for you to take firm steps to get the treatment or the therapy or the service, the input from others that you really need. And not only that, it's a great time for you to be working as a team, as relationships, including love relationships, could center around a working environment. And also, it's a time when you yourself may be putting yourself out for others more. Now, the first 4 days could be demanding because something isn't working or flowing too well, or there's just hold-ups, or maybe there's just lots to do. And around the 7th, compromise or concession may help keep things on an even keel. But from the 10th, work or relationships are going to run more smoothly and you won't have to work so hard at it, I don't think. You see, you're now into this 2.5-year cycle of Saturn in those areas. And that means you'll be keeping your nose to the grindstone a little bit more work-wise, and probably having to be more careful or informed about health and fitness too. But also some of you could be learning a new skill during that time. Or maybe you'll have a more acute awareness that certain lifestyle choices or jobs, or the way you've been doing the jobs, or the equipment that you've been using in the job, or if you don't use equipment, then the style you've been using is past its sell-by date, or if it's a lifestyle choice impacting health, then something's not doing you any good. And so this will be a time for you to kind of pull your socks up there. Now, for several years, Neptune in your career sector has muddied the waters or clouded your vision or others' vision of who you are, or if it's you, what you want to be in the world. It could be that you've done a lot of stuff for free, or that you're seen as a figure who is altruistic or philanthropic or standing for some good cause, or maybe just a soft touch. But now that Saturn is where it is in your chart, you should aim to be firmer about your boundaries and what your true worth is is in the eyes of others, not in an ego way, not in a self-centered way, but it's because probably going to have to step up to the plate and come out more with your authenticity in the wider world, in the professional area. The Neptune transit, though, it's still there and it has a few months to run, and you're not going to see immediate results, but he will be progressing out for a short time next year between April and August, meaning that with hard work and a little dedication, you'll start to make your mark and stamp your name on a wider consciousness. Now, Neptune rules the arts, music, dancing, poetry, lyricism, romanticism, a little bit of glamour there as well. So if you've been working with that, then you'll still be able to work with that, but maybe in a way which is recognized more and for what it actually is. It also rules anything around healing, shamanic work, mysticism, and so on, and spirituality in general. So if you're working with the vibration, or you have been working with the vibration of Neptune on when it's in tune, then you could have been involved in those areas I've just mentioned. If you've been trying to establish it yourself in a materialistic kind of a way in the world, earning big bucks and living the high life, then I don't think I think you'll know that doesn't work. If there is something to do with your vocation there, or maybe a higher calling or a spiritual path that you've been working through the professional area with, then it works a lot better. However, this is just to give you a little sneak peek, astrologically speaking, of what's coming up when Neptune finally shifts out of there temporarily next year, but then for many, many, many years in 2012, and Saturn where it is. And indeed, you could become known for certain things with people or with products or places in the way that you prefer, rather than in this rather sort of vague, cloudy, foggy way that's been going on. And if you do your work well, no longer be undervalued or mistaken in some way, misconstrued in some way by others. So that's good news. Now, the final shift comes in February 2012 with Neptune. And I'm mentioning this now as this current transit of hard-working Saturn is the time for you to start preparing for that new cycle in your career area. From the 23rd, you're going to get to party more, and others are going to appreciate your playful spontaneity, I think. Now, don't forget to look up into the sky around about August the 12th to see the meteor shower from the Perseids. That's going to be quite a firework display. And also remember that if you know your rising sign, listen to that too, because it'll put another slant on what I've said here. And I'll see you the next time.